maybe my opinion would change if like she's doing the OnlyFans and it's just me, because I know I'm not going out, I'm not sleeping around with other people.
Yeah, but you want to pipe her down on camera so you guys can split the revenue. Get to the bag.
You get to the bag and get it. Yeah. Sorry, bro.
Alright, so what's going on, guys? Should I introduce this one?
Go ahead, but yeah, you're very excited, bro.
I'm very excited.
We are off set.
Nice. We got Daniel in the background. A little bit.
They can't see you, though. You're a little off. Never mind. All right, go ahead.
No, so we've got something that I believe rivals the Tropica incident of '87 here.
Oh my gosh.
And then I'm super duper excited to talk about this. Hold on, I had to pull up one of our past reels. So this was actually the first reel for Instagram we've ever made. And that was before we had the ability to put the short up on YouTube. I made that. And so now that we had to upload 2 or 3 videos. I don't even really know how it works, to be honest. But once we uploaded a certain amount of videos, we now have the ability to upload shorts to YouTube.
Okay.
And so I figured, why not? Because it's a pretty funny clip. It's us talking about OnlyFans and how we feel about it. Why not?
Yep.
It's a funny clip. Let me just post it up to YouTube, get us a little bit more engagement, a little bit more drive. And this is not the first time that something like this has happened. We've got ourselves a little bit of I don't want to say a hate comment. Even though I don't necessarily agree with what this guy's saying, I don't think he's being a hater. I just think he fundamentally disagrees or doesn't understand. Well, he obviously disagrees, but he also doesn't understand what you were trying to say in the clip.
Yeah.
What I take issue with is one of the things that he does say. So I want to read this off.
Go ahead, bro.
And then I want to get your reaction to it after.
Okay.
He goes, yeah, dog, you're not attractive enough to make money off of sleeping with people. Just weird thing to say off the bat. A weird thing to like, if you're going to judge. So we were talking about this in the car earlier. It's like, if you're going to judge someone off of one thing, engage with them in an intellectual way. But also, it's like, it's one thing to say like, bro, you're just not good looking. It's the fact that he made the delegation between not being attractive enough to get money off of sleeping. Anyways, also, in this made-up situation, you come off very poorly. You're saying that someone can only do something if they do it in a way that you like. That's fucking weird. Why don't you just not date that person at all if you have those hang-ups? I have what I disagree with about this comment, but I wanted to get, because it's about you, he could be talking about either of us, but I think it was more so
I mean, I was in the clip. I was the only one who said anything.
Right.
You said the joke, but
yeah, I said the joke. So it would have to be you.
Yeah, it had to be. To me, the way how I looked at it, like it's a clip, so you don't really see the full thing. You only get a portion of it.
Yeah.
So maybe he took the little portion of what he saw that I said and jumped to, conclusions based on that. When I went into, where the clip started and everything, when we were talking about the whole like OnlyFans and dating OnlyFans, I said from the very get-go that I personally probably could not see myself in a relationship with somebody who does OnlyFans for my own boundaries.
Not that it can control someone.
Not that has nothing. Listen, if you decide to do OnlyFans, I'm not going to judge you for doing OnlyFans.
Kyle from Nebraska.
That's, oh my gosh.
No, that's not his government. But obviously, he looks like a Kyle. He does.
Oh my gosh. Not to say this, if you choose to do OnlyFans, it's up to you, right? I'm not living your life. That's your choice decisions. I just said that personally for me, and where my boundaries are in a relationship, I would not like to be in a relationship with somebody who's doing OnlyFans, and that's just where I stand. I think that sex is intimate. I think that sex and doing that with the person should be kept to a relationship. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm perfect to that, but that's how I was raised. And as I've gotten older, I've kind of gone back to that level of thinking. When I was talking about the whole OnlyFans thing, which was a subsection of the bigger discussion, which was the Adam 22 and Lena Paul discussion, I put myself in that scenario and I said, I probably would not get into a relationship with somebody with OnlyFans. And if hypothetically, if I ever did get into a relationship with somebody with OnlyFans, maybe, and this is a very, very big maybe, very, very big maybe, I would see myself doing the acts or whatever, and it would be something that we did together. But she would not be stepping out of the relationship, and I would not be stepping out of the relationship. relationship. You know, it'd be us doing something, us putting that up on the internet, whatever, making some money off of it. But I personally don't want to live my life by that. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with somebody who would want me to live my life by that. So I would just avoid the whole thing altogether. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna judge you if you decide to do that. It's your lifestyle. I might not agree with it, but that's your lifestyle. We were saying that I'm not inherently attractive enough. Personally, I don't really care about that.
I disagree.
I don't really care about that. But there's people who don't show their face and jump right into, you know, the whole, just they show their piece and that's all that needs to be seen. You know, not everybody's looking for the whole face thing. It's more about what's happening. So
Can I go?
yeah, I'm done.
All right. I just because I have been interrupting you a lot lately, and I do feel bad. I watch when we edit the videos, and I'm like, damn.
So good, bro.
So I wanted to let you get your shot. But here's my thing. One, this guy is acting as if you said that if you were ever in the you didn't say that. And again, I think that's a nuanced issue. A lot to unpack here. One, I think it's a nuanced issue in that we can't fault this guy for taking things out of context in the video that we created. Now, if it was someone else that clipped us up and he didn't go and do his diligence and he made some big video that was calling us out, I could obviously have a little bit more of an argument for that. But it is a clip I made. It is a clip that I didn't think it made you look bad. Because I mean, again, like, and that's kind of the thing. The other part of it is I don't also believe that it made you to be this guy that's like controlling, is coming off as this dude. I would never, you know, if I got into that, would knowingly first off get into a relationship with someone with an OnlyFans and then try to control that person. You stated a preference. In a hypothetical scenario that I believe, I can't remember the exact context of the video, but I think I brought it up. So you were asked a question by me. Right? It's not, again, there's more context. So if you want, Kyle, you can go watch the full video and you might have a better idea for where Josh was coming from. I feel like Josh, for a guy with there's so much I want to say. For a guy, I'll just sidebar this real quick and I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent. For a guy with your belief set, I think you fall on the much more tolerant end, because I know guys that feel the same way as you do, and I'm not saying you red pill, Josh, but some of your views about, you know, you not wanting to do it and not wanting to be in those types of relationships would traditionally line up with red pill dudes. But the difference between you and red pill dudes is you're much more tolerant. You say, like, it's just not my thing. You go, you get your money, you do whatever. So I think this guy thinks that you're kind of this almost like a fresh and fit type of guy that's saying, you know, I would never, it's disgusting, blah, 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 blah. What you again stated was a preference. You were asked the question, you were put in a hypothetical scenario, not a made-up scenario. A hypothetical scenario is put forth to gauge a reaction that you'd have to something. It's to further the conversation forward, right? I put you in that hypothetical scenario and you answered honestly. You also said again that you would not get into those types of relationships to begin with. I also think what you said is very reasonable. You wouldn't want someone stepping out unless, you know, it's actually, you know what's funny is it's a lot more tolerant. Again, I keep going back to this point. You're a lot more tolerant than the red pill guys that might share some of your beliefs. And they just said, if she wants to do OnlyFans, just have it be with you so you guys can both get money. That's the basis of the joke.
But I did say that that's a very big maybe. I would much prefer that if I'm just not doing the OnlyFans thing. That's just me. I don't really want to share that aspect of my life and my love life with people. I think that's supposed to be intimate.
And then also that's another mark towards you, right? Because you're, again, I think what a lot of people have, and the problem that I kind of have with these fresh and fit guys is that they hold women to different standards. You're not even holding women to different standards. You're saying, I wouldn't want someone that would do that, but I also wouldn't do that myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you're like one of these fresh and fit dudes. It's like, yeah, well, you know, I could have multiple wives. I could have multiple partners, but if, you know, nobody wants a used car, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants a car with mileage on it. That's not what you're saying, man. But again, I wanted, and he did come off kind of spicy, but I could see how Kyle from Nebraska was given a certain impression by the context of said video. But that wasn't the context. That's not who Josh is. And I mean, he's talking real spicy online for someone that.
Cried. I don't even think. Personally, I don't even think he's that spicy.
He was pretty spicy. He called you ugly and then said you sounded fucking weird. That's pretty spicy, Josh.
I think he, if he really wanted to, he could have said a lot worse. I think
He could have
to me,
easily.
I think to me, I just looked at it and I was just like, all right, well, I mean, he took a little portion of the clip, thought he understood where I was coming from, and then left the comment. I mean,
You even said it in a way that wasn't combative. I could see if you were like, yeah, you know, like my partner does that, like fuck no, dude, like no, bro, like I'm not doing that shit, bro. No,
No, bro,
You
I
were
mean,
just like, personally, me, I'm
look
just
at it,
not.
look at it.
Like you said it in the most tolerant way possible too.
the way how I look at it is like this, right? You're not gonna get into a relationship with somebody who doesn't have the same values as you. And if you do get into a relationship with somebody that doesn't have the same values as you, or at least similar values as you do, then you're gonna find out later on that you guys have the same values. And I don't know if that relationship is really gonna do the test of time because you guys do not have the same values. You know what I mean?
Precisely.
If you like, this is slightly different, but what if you sorry, you're right. You know, if you start talking to somebody, you know, and you're like, man, this person is great, and you guys start dating, but then come to find out that she doesn't give two F's about family or following the law or anything along those lines, and the things just start spiraling, and you're like, wow, like you just have no moral high ground at all.
Well,
You know what I mean?
hold on.
And then I'm saying this is a completely different scenario. It's very, very different.
I know, but you're also now assuming, and I will call you on this. You're now, I think you do get into the territory sometimes where you're coming at it, not that you're moral high, or what is it called, grandstanding? Morally grandstanding?
I said more high ground just now.
Yeah. But you're also assuming that for you, that's your version of morality.
My version of morality
Is family, is all these values. But we
Okay.
also have to be careful that, you know, we don't just automatically assume that other people share those more. We don't assign those.
But
morals to
again,
other
that's the thing though. That's the thing. We literally just agreed on it. If you're not gonna get into a relationship and expect it to last if you don't have the same values. If you don't have the same values, it's not like it's fine if
But
you have a different moral
Yeah.
sense or different value sense
Okay.
than I do. But I'm probably not gonna get in a relationship with
But
you.
the only
because of
thing you said was that you had there was a moral high ground. It
When I
doesn't
said-
make someone more moral. You know what I'm
that.
saying?
When I said more high ground, I'm thinking of like values and stuff that you value and stuff, and then like things that are important to you that I would put as a moral sense. You know.
What do you mean?
You wouldn't consider like your values and your moral sense to be in the same thing?
Yes, but I'm saying I don't think like it's so. For instance, we disagree on OnlyFans. I have a little bit more of a liberal policy on it, and I don't mean this in a political way, but like to be liberal is to kind of be a little bit more loose and kind of, you know, like if it's not hurting anyone, it's fine. We've had this conversation on the podcast before.
Mm-hmm.
You're a little bit more like, remember you talked about women getting flown out. Like
Yeah.
that's a much better example. Women getting flown out, we disagree upon because you kind of felt like there was something morally wrong with that. And I remember you had said a couple of times you were like, personally me, just because like I carry myself a little bit different, a little bit more morally.
But I use a lot of eyes in there.
But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I want to make sure you're not coming at it from a perspective. And I'm not saying you're a bad guy, Josh. In fact, you're one of the most, again, tolerant people I know. That's one of the best and kindest and brightest people I know. I want to make sure that you're not automatically assuming that your set of morals or values, and you might not even know that you're doing, because I do it sometimes, is chief. You know, we don't really drink at all.
Right.
But like the people that, you know, that when people hear that I don't drink, they're like, oh, are you one of those people that's like, personally me, I couldn't partake in the devil's juice. You know, like I'm just like, no, I don't. That's me. You know, I think it's important to remember that everyone has their own version of morality, where a good basis for, I don't want to say attacking someone, but if you want to have a gripe with someone, you could talk about their not adhering to their set of morals. So if they have a set of morals, let's just say if you said, I don't like people getting flown out, like women getting flown out, and then you flew out women, or you know, you once you get a little bit of money, you're having all these like women over, then that would be something.
That's hypocritical on me.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. But I want to make sure you're not. I don't want you to think that just because someone is their parameters, their set of brackets for morality is a little bit different. I don't think you think you're better than them, but I think it is that thing sometimes where you do feel as though you have the moral high ground, the moral superior. I just want to make sure that's not the case.
Okay. Well, I don't. Do you understand the initial when we first started where I was coming from?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You are right in the sense of me having like feeling superior to people like that. I don't think I feel superior to people like that, but sometimes you might get caught up in the damn, like that person's doing it. I would never. Sometimes I mean, we're all human. I try not to act like that. You know, I try to look at things like, you know, I try to look at things like people are just people that go through things, and if I was in their shoes, maybe I would do something different. If I had a different level of thinking, or if I was raised different, whatever, you know. But anyways, just to wrap it up. Yes. I think value systems are important. That's kind of where I was coming from. You know, the things that I value and the things that are important to me, right? I would like to find somebody who agrees to those things or has a similar level of thinking in that realm or has a similar level of values that I do before we proceed to the relationship thing, you know? And OnlyFans is just not something, or doing that and doing like stuff along that nature doesn't really fit in with what I would do, because I would like to keep that intimate between the person that I'm with and myself, you know? And that's just how I view it, right? That's just how I view it. Anything else?
Kyle, watch your mouth.
Oh my God. This guy.
My guy you're talking to. All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys in the next one.